The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We got about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading for the week. We got markets somewhat tame to kick things off. We got an S&P that's flat right now, trading at 42.36, basically flirting with all-time highs on a daily basis on the S&P right now. We got the NASDAQ 100 right up near that level as well. You're talking about 14,009, all-time highs in the NASDAQ 100, just above where we were pre-market. The Dow, not quite up to that level. Dow, all-time highs 35,000 on the futures on the dot right now. We're trading 34,320, and we got the Russell within about 30 points of all-time highs as well, 2333. Bitcoin continuing to catch a bid. Look at this acceleration. These are 15-minute bars. Since I came on the air at 9 o'clock, folks, that's right, just 7 minutes ago, since I came on the air at 9 o'clock, Bitcoin is up $735 from $39,600. We're trading at $40,335 in Bitcoin. We have some positive light from the man himself, Elon Musk, on crypto and Bitcoin over the weekend, saying maybe they'll accept Bitcoin, as in maybe Tesla will accept Bitcoin yet again if it becomes reliant on renewable energy to the tune of 50%. We'll pull up that tweet in a moment, but that's given a little bit of a bid in crypto. Oil just continuing to run, $71.76, remarkable. We're going to see those prices at the pump going up, folks. Gold contract, that's quite an acceleration from Friday. We were up on Friday at a price point of $19.06, just like that. We've given up $56 almost. We're trading at $18.51. You're down $28 on the session. We basically accelerated from early Friday. I say Friday, that's 3 in the morning Friday that we're sitting at $19.06. By about the afternoon on Friday, we're sitting at 1877, and the acceleration resumes right out of the gate last night, basically at 6 p.m. You trade from 1878, we're down to 1851 in gold. Silver pulling back about 50 cents. Silver was up at 28.44 early on Friday. We're trading at 27.65, and you jump to notes and bonds. A little bit of a reversal of the trend we had, as in pulling back a bit. You got the 10-year right now with a yield of 1.47%. Just for some context, we'll put it on a daily. You back it up to the acceleration we had. You really were at a price point of, you back it up to June 4th. You were sitting there at a price point, and I believe, is that? Yes, that's non-farm payrolls Friday. There you go, when the run really started. You were at 131.18, and just like that, we're still over a full point. You made it as high as a 133.06. That's almost 2 full points, which is why we saw the yield. I think we were flirting with a yield about 1.63% coming into that jobs number. We're now under 1.5 at 1.47%. The yield on the 10-year, and you got to jump over to the volatility index. Very little volatility going on in this market right now, and priced in rightfully so, with the VIX sitting at 1608, up from a 15 handle for all of Friday action in that volatility index. We haven't seen a 15 handle, especially for the entire day of trading, I think since pre-pandemic. You back things up on a 3-year weekly just to get the whole acceleration we had. The prior low was April 12th. We did make it down to 1538, but here's what I just want to show, because if you go back, I believe that's not really even, that 1538 was kind of a flash low, versus now we've actually meandered where we're sitting down there on a consistent basis. Yeah, 3 days last week. No, these are weeklies. Yeah. So for 3 consecutive weeks is a better way to say it. We've seen a VIX with a 15 handle. This will be the 4th. For 4 straight weeks, we've seen the VIX with a 15 handle. When you tie in everything else going on, low volatility, we do have a Fed meeting going on this week. That'll get some press for sure. We'll see if they have anything substantial to say. My expectation is it's going to be same as we go, as in there's enough information contained within the inflationary data for Chairman Powell to argue that it's transitory. There's enough jobs not being made up for Chairman Powell and the Fed to argue that they still need to be in there. The talk of tapering is a little bit premature. He's probably going to be out there speaking that, as he has been for the better part of more than a year at this point, and the market likes that, of course. Cheap money coming at you with a yield of 1.47%. That's why you're seeing these tech stocks, NASDAQ 100 up 24 points, pushing right near all-time highs. Look at that weekly chart. My goodness, right? We've been basing since about February 8th, but man, you're talking about pre-COVID, okay? Pre-COVID, we were trading at about 9,700. Now, that's cherry picking the highs, folks. We were on an upward trend already. You just look at where we came into 2020, And you're talking about basically, where are we? 8,700. You came into 2020. Folks, we're not even halfway through 2021. Okay. So this is a year and a half of action, and you go from 8,700 to 14,000. But guess what? These stocks in the NASDAQ 100, they are benefiting tremendously from the shift to online, whether it's from doing everything from home, doing everything over your computer, the ability to work remotely. It's happening. And the NASDAQ 100, just remarkable, sitting at about 14,000. Okay, what else we got going on? We're going to kick it off with Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan. So I talked about in recent shows, he was talking about the level of money. Now, I'm going back to a couple weeks. First off, he was talking about stimulus in a prior interview, talking about the amount of stimulus remaining in consumers' bank accounts. And at that time, 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was still almost about 2/3 to 3/4 of the stimulus they had received was still sitting in their accounts waiting to be spent. All right, keep that in mind as we go over this statistic, because it is a pretty radical statistic in a big way, and I love the fact you comp it out to 2019. Every company, every statistic should comp versus 2019, folks. It's going to give you a much better idea of a real comp, because comparing how you did this year versus how you did, during the months of March, April, May, June of 2020, it's just not a fair comparison, because we all know what was going on then. Bank of America CEO says consumer spending is 20% higher this year than in 2019. Now, folks, 2019, things were going really, really well. The consumer was strong as ever in 2019, okay? Transaction volume on customers' credit and debit cards over the Zelle payment network has grown by 20% so far this year compared to 2019. Now, the Zelle payment network that's digital payments, right? I mean, Zelle, I've used it to transfer money for some personal transfers, having to do with renting, some rents. I had tenants in there doing the same thing. So that service is expanding as well, but nearly all spending categories have recovered with the exception of travel. Still as much as 15% lower than 2019 travel, big travel trips, the last thing people probably waiting for. People got a lot of stimulus money and they've been spending it. The unemployment rate's coming down and people are going back to work. Remarkable, though, when you look at where they've been, transaction volumes on those cards, credit and debit, all right, credit and debit, but on the Zelle payment network, 20% so far. That's a staggering number, folks. That's what it's going to take, though, to really accelerate things from where we've been. Stimulus checks and bolstered unemployment benefits pumped up the customers' checking accounts. Moynihan said accounts with about $1,000 to $2,000 in average balances are up 6 to 7 times what they were before the pandemic, okay? So think about that. Accounts with about $1,000 to $2,000 in average balances are up 6 to 7 times. So the people who really don't have much money in their account on a continual basis, they're the ones who have 6 to 7 times before the pandemic. Those are the people that need to spend almost every dollar they have, folks. All right, they've saved a lot, but that is a remarkable amount of money that is sitting in those bank accounts compared to where they were before. You're seeing it come out in consumer spending. During that interview, Moynihan said that cybersecurity spending at his bank has climbed from around $300 million when he started to well over $1 billion. Yeah, I'd say so. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Golden ratios give shape to everything in our world, represented in the Fibonacci sequence. These special numbers define the patterns that make up our universe. Not even markets can escape the omnipotence of these ratios. Larry Pesavento is a 45-year market veteran who has published nearly a dozen books on the powerful patterns we find in nature and their relationships with the ever-elusive markets. Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, will teach you to harness the power of these natural golden ratios in order to create successful trades. Fibonacci 24/7 is designed to teach the tools you need to identify and act on these undeniable and reoccurring patterns. Sign up for Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, and you will also receive free access to his trading webinar, Trading Strong Trending Markets. Try out Larry's newsletter risk-free. All of TFNN's newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got the NASDAQ 100 up about 14 points right now. S&Ps, we'll call it flat at 42.36. Dow barely in the red this morning to kick things off. And the Russell positive by about 5 points. Talking about getting back to work. So how about Goldman? They're bringing all the employees back to kick things off today. So you got Goldman and Citi. Quite a little divergence of what they have going on in terms of their offices. And you're going to see this play out continually across multiple different industries when companies are trying to compete for, number one, compete for human capital, okay, in terms of employees. All right, you want to be able to secure the best human capital around in terms of the people that work for you. And we live in a new environment, folks, where people have choices. One of those choices is you're going to have companies that give you more freedom to work outside of the workspace. You have Goldman. They are requiring almost all employees at its perch over the Hudson River to report to their desks, marking one of Wall Street's most ambitious returns to the workplace since COVID-19 besieged the city more than a year ago. You think about it, right? It's been a while, and these big banks, and especially right in the middle of New York hit hardest early on. People working from home. So today's the day. Goldman Sachs, almost all the employees, they're back. Meanwhile, Citigroup, they're right down the street. They won't recall most of its staff to its mostly empty Tribeca Tower in downtown Manhattan until July next month. Not a big deal. Even then, though, the firm has told most workers that they can adopt a so-called hybrid schedule between home and the office longer term. It's going to be tough to compete. Now, some people love being in the office, right? They love the social atmosphere, completely understandable. You obviously see in the execs at Goldman Sachs, they obviously see the benefit of people being at their desks on a continual basis, requiring all those employees to be back. You're going to see it play out, though, and it'll be interesting to see how this landscape shifts over the next couple of years. And as you battle for those employees, because that's what it's going to be about, keeping those employees happy. They have a lot of choices right now. You're seeing it, right? Goldman Sachs, you're going to have Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Citi, all of those, and how they play out in terms of their options that they give employees. We're going to talk about Google and some of the tech companies next. But such divergences, as they say, popping up across Manhattan's mighty financial industry, creating pockets of optimism within the city's economy. Yeah, the city's going to be back, folks. Coming from lovely Boston. You know, I'm in Florida now. Love my city of Boston. Can't wait to get back into Faneuil Hall sometime. Bosses worry their teams will be less competitive if members are slow to come back. There's the worry, right? You got Goldman rocking and rolling. Everybody's back in the offices. Is Citi going to be able to keep up? If that's the case, nonetheless, is Goldman, now here's the counterpoint I would add, is Goldman going to be able to keep up with poaching talent if they tell that talent that they have to be in front of their desk every day in Manhattan and they can't work from home. Meanwhile, you go down the street to a bank like Citi and they might say, hey, we're going to give you the same exact package, but you can be at home 2 days a week long term. Maybe you have kids at home. Maybe that's a flexibility that you value greater than a small pay bump, etc. We're just going to see it play out continually, folks. And it's an interesting development in terms of where we go as a society and things changing with the ability to work from home in a dramatic fashion. But nonetheless, you got those CEOs with different divergent plans and how they play out. I mean, the next article, interesting, right? Google revamps workspace to rival Microsoft and embrace remote work. I mean, the tech companies are the ones who probably have the ability to allow some of their employees at least to work from home on a more consistent, longer-term basis, just because they're so into technology. Everything they do, they're operating on their own computers. They're syncing up with whether it's just group meetings online, we're Zooming, we're Facebook, Microsoft Teams, etc. Company upgrades meet teleconference service for hybrid future. So Google revamping it up. The new tools offer to boost productivity for small businesses. Nonetheless, you're seeing it play out in terms of Google revealing a raft of updates to its workspace productivity suite, including new features for free users, a paid plan for entrepreneurs, and fresh capabilities for its Meet video conferencing system in an effort to better compete with Microsoft products. So this is talking about not only are these companies going to bring their tech workers back, but they're going to be facilitating other companies, right? Google sees it. They're not the only ones, folks. This is going to be playing out in perpetuity. TFNN's one of them, all right? Things have changed in a dramatic fashion. I've been working from home in a home studio for a while. I don't imagine I'll be back at the office 5 days a week. I mean, the commute alone, the amount of time that's lost in that commute, I had a decent commute alone. You're going to see it play out. One of the moves, dubbed Workspace for Everyone, will extend the collaboration tools that corporate users receive to non-paying customers, Google said. Company said Monday in a series of blog posts. Google will also offer a tier called Workspace Individual, designed for entrepreneurs, which extends premium features of the software to small businesses, and it is upgraded Meet for a hybrid work future. We're here, folks. The future is now, and it's a hybrid work in terms of facilitating work from home and being in the office. I imagine most companies are going to adopt some type of hybrid feature, as in everybody's not going to be at home, everybody's not going to be in the office. It's going to be a combination of that. I don't want to sit at home, especially after being locked down for about 16 months. I want to be back in the office, but guess what? I don't want to be back in the office 5 days a week because it's not needed. I think that's what we all discovered, that in many instances, not all instances, in many instances, it is not necessary to be tied to a desk in a physical location 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, taking your breaks that are clocked, etc. There's the ability to work from home, and it comes down to, number one, I mean, companies are self-serving, right? They're going to do what's the best interest of the shareholders and the people that work for them. They're going to maximize revenue, maximize profit, all of that. But you have to play into that, folks, that the environment for human capital, okay, it's going to be a fierce competition. And we've all adopted a little bit more of a sense of the ability to have a little bit more freedom, and we can still do our jobs. That's the real key there, right? People don't want to slack off, but the workforce has realized that I don't need to be in front of a computer, a desk 5 days a week. So if you're going to require me to do that, it almost seems like that would be something that would be pointless in most cases. Now, there's a lot of jobs that are going to require people to be in a physical location 5 days a week working, right? It's going to happen, whether you're in the service industry, whether you're just in parts of technology that you need to actually be working on physical products in the office. But there's a lot of jobs also that don't, and you're going to see the battle for human capital, folks. That's what it's all about. It'll be really interesting to see how a company like Goldman, that's requiring everybody first to be back. I mean, imagine you're an employee at Goldman today, all right? And it's probably a fun time, folks. Hopefully, if you have the ability to get vaccinated out there, you have. I attended a movie in a movie theater for the first time in about 16 months over the weekend. It was glorious. I'm vaccinated. Everybody in my family's vaccinated. It's a glorious deal. You can go out. We went to a restaurant, ate indoors, didn't have to wear a mask because we're vaccinated. We went to a movie because it's vaccinated, all that stuff. So it's an exciting time. But imagine that you get pulled back to the office 5 days a week. Meanwhile, you got friends that are working at other banks, and you got a friend working at Citi, and he says, yeah, that's great, but I'm going to be back in the office in a month, can't wait. And then when I do get back in the office in a month, I've facilitated that I can work from home 2 days a week. I can be with my wife or husband and kids, and it's just a better environment for my family. You'd be a little bit jealous maybe for some people. Now, some people are going to be jealous that they're back in 5 days a week, right? But some people are going to want that freedom, folks. You're going to see it play out. So it's playing out right now. Goldman, they're back there first day today as Manhattan. Hopefully alive and well, though. That's about time. Manhattan. Goldman opened at about flat at 378 this morning. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the opening bell.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open and we got the S&P's flat right now. NASDAQ 100 positive by 10 points. The Dow negative by 26 and the Russell positive by 9. Pretty tame open to kick things off. When we got a caller on the line, who do we got? We got my dad, Tom O'Brien. What's happening, man? Good morning.
What's happening, pal? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How we doing?
Good. Good, man. Well, listen, I wanted to call, you're going over the work from home. And it's a huge deal, man, because just like when you look at the commute, right? Let's picture your commute, right? Okay, and plenty of people have an hour commute, right?
Sure.
the amount of time that is saved and the amount of production that gets done on the other side, meaning like on your side, is huge, man, because when you add that up in the context of like a weekly and a monthly and a yearly deal, people are going to have a lot more time. And I think, most times when you hire someone anyway, you're hiring someone that's good, right? So then it's just a trust issue. You know what I mean? But I think it's a big deal, and it's not going to change. It's not even close to being, just like you said, maybe someone wants to come in for a bit, and, Goldman's different. They got to make deals and stuff. But this is a big deal, man. And I think for the quality of life of people and for the production, particularly for smaller companies, I think is really big. I think it's a big deal, man. I mean, I think I actually personally think that more work is going to get done, because what ends up happening, it seems that when you add up the time that, people actually have to go to work and come back to work, man, that's a lot of time, man. that's a lot of time. I mean, you add it on my day. Money that's wasted, you know what I mean? So,
on my day, and a lot of people, especially around cities, right? I mean, geez, anybody working in New York City, my goodness, they probably got at least an hour, or a half hour to an hour, because most people aren't working and, living on Fifth Avenue or whatever it is. But yeah, simply an hour commute is basically both ways is 2 hours on an 8-hour workday. So you're talking about 25% you're spending, on top of what you work. You work 8 hours, you spend 2 extra hours just commuting to work. Whereas you could basically add 25% of your time just in an hour commute. It's that simple, let alone, like you said, the quality of life and what goes in. And even Goldman, man, it's like, deal makers, we get it. And the CEO has obviously analyzed this, right? I mean, he's a bright guy. You got a million variables going into things in terms of how he's going to compete to hiring people when he's the one who's bringing people back first. He's requiring them to be in front of their desks. But there's been a lot of deals made over the last year, man. That was one of the biggest things that happened. Remember early on when we came out of this thing, venture capitalists, private equity, they were doing deals everywhere. And nobody's been back required at their desks. So that you're going to see, because if I was a Citi or a Goldman employee, and I'm sure there's some out there that have enjoyed the last year at home, you got to be maybe a little bit jealous that you got your competitors out there with a little bit more freedom in their life, and how that plays out over. And this is going to be a longer term deal, like you're talking about. It's around forever, man. I imagine, you might see that shift if they have trouble poaching some big executives that say, hey, there's no reason why I can't be sitting at home, overlooking my beautiful pool in my backyard with my kids playing as I wheel and deal $1 billion deals, because I'm the same guy on the same phone. Or girl, whatever it is, right? That's what I see, man.
There's no doubt. And then think about, like, when you get in the office. First you get in the office, then you got to have a cup of coffee, then you got to do this and do that when you're at home. Yes, you do that, but guess what? Then you jump in front of the computer anyway, because it's really pretty cool. I mean, when you really look at the whole context, I think for quality of life, it's going to be a really pretty good deal for a lot of people. We
were really fortunate, like this time in society, that this happened, because we have the technology to do everything we have to. And that's really what, a lot of executives were very worried that you give everybody the ability to go home. And guess what? I mean, the executive's the one that's going to get fired, man. If you send everybody home, nobody does their work, right? So that was a risk that was not worth taking, is basically what happened. What ended up happening was you sent people home. Yeah, the productivity stayed the same. And it speaks to trust. Number one, like you said, I would agree. You got to be able to trust good employees, especially once you get above a certain pay level, as in you have to have a certain amount of self-responsibility to function on your own. But it's also going to be new managerial practices in terms of
the skills.
The skill set required to be a manager, where you're managing people who have complete self-control. So maybe that is something that, are there more small meetings necessary? Do you kick off a meeting every single day with your employees? Maybe you do, because you wouldn't do that in the office, because guess what? You're going to see them 5 times an hour when you walk past their desk. But maybe you kick it off every day. There's just going to be, I think, that shift of who has the ability to manage in this environment, which is completely different from managing when you're all working in the same room.
No, there's no doubt. Yeah, so I want to switch gears on you now. Let's go over to the gold market, right? Because it's slamming that baby this morning. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And we'll see what ends up happening with the Fed. The Fed's on Wednesday,
Yep.
You know, the dollar still hasn't held price. I mean, so my take is that we're actually going to see a rejection of lower price in the gold market today. We'll see if that comes out. And the reason I'm saying that, Tom, is that silver didn't come down as hard. When I just left, I'm just going from one office to another. When silver came down, you know, we were down like 40 cents or something, but it didn't break your lower levels where gold did. I mean, gold went after that June 4th swing low. It's going after the breakout area. You know, so they love doing this. I mean, it's amazing how they can slam gold. But anyway, it is what it is. But we'll see how that shakes out. But the dollar, you know, they caught that good bid on Friday. But every time it catches a bid, man, it seems like it only holds for a couple days. So we'll see what happens out here, man.
And I think you had Paul Tudor Jones on CNBC today talking about inflation, talking about the Fed. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Fed with some of the statistics of the jobs, because the Fed has not had a meeting since we got April and May numbers, I believe it is, which is some pretty remarkable information.
Okay.
Yeah, Labor Department reports for the month of April and May published since the last FOMC meeting. So think about how much of a miss those jobs numbers were, right? I mean, the April number, people were talking about maybe 1 million, and it came in at like 266, I think. The May number, what did we come in at? 560 something. You add them up, we're both so there's a lot that's changed since that Fed in there. But Paul Tudor Jones is in there saying that if they treat these numbers, which were material events, if they treat them with nonchalance, I think it's a green light to bet heavily on every inflation trade. And he mentions in there, and that might be part of the reason that gold got a $5 lift even in the last hour. He says, if they say we're on a path, things are good, then I would just go all in on the inflation. I'd buy commodities, I'd buy crypto, and I'd buy gold. So there you go. That's a little bit of and gold's up $12 since where it was trading at $8.45.
And for the folks that are in the metal market, if they own Vista, you know, I've had Fred on, the CEO, quite a few times. I own Vista. But that's good, big news out there today. I mean, they got the final permit, you know, to open the mine, to operate a mine in Australia. So, you know, that's a big deal, man. I mean, it's going to be
I got the chart up there. They're up 10%.
You know, it takes this permit picture. It takes it took 7 to 10 years to get this permit. I mean, that's the gold business is a whole different business. It's not like the oil business that you can stick a piece of pipe down and 30 days later you get oiled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just to get the permit in your hands is a big deal. So we'll see where that baby shakes out. But I'm sure that they're happy today in Colorado. That's for sure.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. Kicking off the Monday.
Okay, man. Okay,
love you, man.
Love you.
Look forward to the show at 3.
Okay.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Negative 3 points right now, 42.33. Pretty slow start to the trading day. We'll get the Dow pulling back a bit. The Dow's been the weakest index this morning, down about 94 points. The Russell showing some strength, up about 0.4% right now at 2340. Russell only about less than 1%. I was going to say 23 points above from all-time highs, about 1% from all-time highs in the Russell. And we got to jump to Bitcoin because the run continues. We just pushed 40,800. You're talking about $10,000 from where we were on Tuesday. Remarkable action. Now it's double-edged in terms of what's going on. The leader of the Bitcoin volatility, we should say, Elon Musk himself, he was out there tweeting. We'll pull up the tweet that had the most press. So it talked about whether Elon was selling his Bitcoins, etc., whether they're going to be taking Bitcoins for payment. This tweet coming out yesterday afternoon from the man himself, Elon, talking about Elon maybe a pump and dump. He's replying to basically an article here talking about Elon catching flack for alleged Bitcoin pump and dump. He says it's inaccurate. Tesla's only sold 10% of holdings to confirm Bitcoin could be liquidated easily without moving the market. Okay, so I believe he spent $1.5 billion on Bitcoin. Maybe his board, I'm just guessing, speculating, but maybe it's just Elon wanting to make sure, but he's not too conservative, wanting to make sure that they could actually liquidate that position without crashing the market, as in that it actually had the value that they might have been figuring things out on their balance sheet. But he goes on to say, when there's confirmation of reasonable clean energy usage by miners with positive future trend, Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions. So he wants it to be a cleaner. I mean, folks, Elon Musk is not just making cars. He's transforming the way we use energy on this planet. I saw a great article that was written about when Elon started to become the richest man in the world. Now, he's pulled back from that perch, right, since Tesla has pulled back as well. But what the article stated was that don't think about this as the world's next richest man, and it cycles through. It was Bill Gates for a while. Now it's been Bezos for a while. Whatever you say, the person who's the richest man on the planet or woman, they'll be there sometime, probably, if not when, but if, usually changes the world in some fashion. Bill Gates, Windows, the computing degree, the computing aspect of the world. Then you have Bezos with online shopping and how that's transformed everything. And now you have the ability to harness energy. Okay, and that's what they are. Elon is running a company that harnesses energy and changes the way all of us, okay, use energy and use oil and use sun and all of that stuff. So this is a big deal to him, all right? And he catches a lot of flack, but it is. He's just not making electric vehicles. He thinks it can change the world, and he's probably right. And he has changed the world in terms of pushing all those car companies forward. But nonetheless, so he wants it to be about 50%. Now, I think this mentions it's at about 30% right now, or 39 or something. I think they have it. Yes, it is. So the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance estimated that 39% of crypto mining is powered by renewable sources, mainly hydroelectric. I'll get it out right now. Elon wants that up to 50%. Then he says they'll start taking Bitcoin again. Well, what does it do? It puts quite a bit on it. And then you got Paul Tudor Jones out there talking about inflation, talking about the Fed, talking about crypto as well. That puts a little fuel on the fire as well. And we're back up above 40,000 right now at 40,650. Nonetheless, interesting stuff when you got a Fed conversation going on to this week as well. All right, what else we got going on? Let's jump to some of the stocks making news. So Novavax, they're out with their numbers for their efficacy of their vaccine. Good numbers right across the board. 93% effective against the most predominant variants of the virus. 100% protection against moderate and severe disease. I mean, it's right up there with the mRNA vaccines in terms of the numbers. Novavax getting quite a pop on that news, as you may expect. Oh, my goodness. And just like that, they give it back. This market is remarkable, folks. You're up to 236.20. God bless the person who is buying at 236.20 right now, as it's at 209.06. Negative for the session. Negative. You get that news and you're negative on the session. They can't do better than basically the numbers they put up. Nonetheless, they give it up. Lordstown, pay attention to this one, folks. Pay attention in a big way. So it was reported last week they filed with the SEC, the electric truck maker, their symbol is RIDE, that they may be going BK. Okay, and then it comes out this morning that the CEO and CFO have resigned. Okay, just days after the company warned that it could continue as a going concern. All right. Don't buy this equity, please, folks. All right? You have them filing material facts that they probably don't have the money to continue. And then you have the CEO and the chief financial officer. You think he understands the finances of the company, the chief financial officer? You think the chief executive officer might understand the financials of the company? My guess is those two said, hey, this thing ain't going anywhere. We're going BK here. We don't have enough money to compete. And the company wasn't cool with that. And so they said, well, we're out of here then, because this ain't going to work. Go find somebody else that's going to run this company right into the ground when we don't have any money for it. That would be my guess. Nonetheless, remarkable turnaround. There was the drop on Tuesday when they notified the SEC that they might not have the capital necessary for what they need. And nonetheless, we're trading down another 17% from where we were on the close of Friday. All right, what else we got going on? Chipotle got an upgrade to a strong buy from an outperform, predicting that the recent menu price increases would push profits well beyond consensus forecasts. Excuse me, we'll jump over to Chipotle. CMG is their symbol. This stock, we're up 2.3%. You back it up on the daily, we're basically right where we were as of September 2nd, but quite a little pop on there. Prices rising, and they're going to bring it to the bottom line. Ferrari, how about a double downgrade, moving its rating to sell from a buy, increased capital spending, and limited scope for positive earnings revisions. Ferrari, race, can't forget that symbol. Yeah, look at that drop, down 3.3% today for Ferrari. GlaxoSmithKline, they're collaborating with clinical stage biopharma company Iteos to develop and commercialize a monoclonal antibody in early stage development for possible cancer treatment. Let's see, so that company surged in huge by 60.4%. Let's see how Glaxo's trading this morning. GSK is their symbol, up about 0.2%. All right, folks, what else we got going on? It's going to be a good week at TFNN, and on Wednesday, 2 days from right now, our man Dave White, he's going to be doing an outstanding options webinar, folks. You can attend this webinar completely for free. All of Dave's subscribers to any of his services. So if you head on over to the newsletters tab, you have the Path of Least Resistance, Dave's daily trading newsletter. You have his Technology Insider, his weekly newsletter. And then under services, you have the Art of Taming the Trade Charts, which is his software charting program that he developed in collaboration with my dad, Tom O'Brien. Now, you can sign up for any of these services right on the front page of TFNN. You gain access to the webinar Dave's going to be doing on Wednesday. He's going to be talking about option trades, folks, all right, at a time when we have the VIX. Not bad. The volatility premium that you'll be paying right now on some of those options. The VIX flirting with about 16, lowest level we've seen in a while. I just talked about the start of the show. We've seen a VIX with a 15 handle for 4 consecutive weeks. That's quite a statement in itself. But I encourage you, folks, if you haven't tried out any of Dave's services, great week to do it. Try him out. Get started. It's Monday. You'll be in there for a couple days. He's got his event going on Wednesday from 4 till 5, an hour-long webinar on options. You can find out all about it on the front page of TFNN. Comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and it will be archived if you cannot attend live. You can't beat it, folks. Check it out on the front page of TFNN. That's Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We get the market slipping a little bit. Taking a look at the S&Ps, 42.32. All things considered, tame market. Market will be waiting for that Fed conference on Wednesday. We get the VIX spiking a little bit, 16.53 as this market pulls back. The Dow off about 103 points right now. Call it 99 at 34,258. But my goodness, folks, I mean, you put the S&Ps on the daily, right? It's an upward trend channel, and we're just sitting right in the middle of that trend line, right in the middle of 42.32. Basically right near all-time highs that we made last week. Can't overstate how strong this market is in perpetuity right now. And we jump to notes and bonds. Got to keep our eye as we get a little bit of a pullback from the trend that we've had in terms of a pullback, a little bit of a higher rate, but nothing too dramatic right now. You got the 10-year negative 8 ticks at 132.19. That's talking about a yield of 1.49%, 1.487 to be exact. But just like that, we're going to be flirting with 1.5% again. Now, you put this 10-year and a 3-year weekly. Just to keep in mind, folks, I've talked about it many times, but this 382 retracement from the full run we got back it up to October of 2018. You run up to the highs during COVID of 140.24. You pull back a 382 of that entire move, correlating to about 131 is the exact 2019. That area has turned into a 24. We're sitting at 132.19. Wouldn't be surprising if we make it back down to that level again, but boy, that would freak out the market a little bit, as that is a full point almost below where we're trading at on a Fed week. My goodness, right? What could happen there? Let's check out some of the FANG stocks as we kick things off. Technology, boy, on a weekly, these things look like amazing, right? Even on the daily, they do as well. Microsoft is flat this morning. We got Amazon shares right now. Amazon, strong like bull. Amazon just continues to run up almost 0.8% at 33.72 this morning. We'll check on our man Elon Musk. Tesla shares higher by about 2% this morning. Google, yeah, flat, right near all-time highs at 25.13. We'll jump over to Facebook shares. Facebook shares up about 0.7% as well. All right, folks, thanks so much for starting your day with me. Stay tuned. We got our man Basil Chapman. He's coming up live with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Fast Market at 11. Larry at 12, Steve Rhodes at 1, Dave White at 2, Tom O'Brien at 3. And don't forget about Dave's class on Wednesday, folks. Check it out on the front page at TFNN.